Okay, so this is Dundee. He is one of the young stallions that was part of the rescues. He is feral. He will let people scratch him out in the pasture, but he is feral. He has never worn a halter. And in this video, you're going to see me getting him used to having a lead rope over his neck and having a halter put on his face. So I am going really slow with him because he does have the opportunity to leave. He's got the choice, actually, to leave. He can stay and eat, or he can leave and not be bothered. So it doesn't matter which section of this manger he chooses, I'm going to go to that area. I do clicker training with him, and so he is used to the click and treat. I use carrots as my treat. In this situation, though, there is another horse I've been clicker training with who really likes the clicker training and will push the other horses. He'll chase the other horses away. And so I'm not using the clicker because I don't want that other horse to come over and chase Dundee away. I'm also going nice and slow with him because I don't want him to fear the lead rope, and I don't want him to get scared of what I'm doing. So if I scare him and he runs off, we've just taken 3 steps backwards, and I don't want that. So I'm going nice and slow with him because I want him to choose to stay here. And he didn't like that. That was just a little bit over his threshold. And you could see he pinned his ears and backed away. And because he didn't leave, he got some pets and scratch and a piece of carrot. And I encourage him to come back. So I just keep petting him. I like to try and pet him with the lead rope in my hand so the lead rope isn't so scary. And anytime I'm out with these horses, I've got a halter and lead rope on my shoulder. I take it with me, even if I have zero intention of putting a halter on a horse. I've always got the halter and lead rope with me. And Dundee really doesn't seem to mind the lead rope touching his ears. That's actually where he's most comfortable with it, on his neck. Nope, found a bolt. Darn hay. Always finding things like that in hay. And here you can see me tugging lightly on the lead rope to get him used to some pressure. I also have some horse crackers. I don't remember which ones these are. If I do, I'll let you know, because all the horses just seem to love these ones. And here I'm trying to slide the lead rope up over his nose just to see what kind of reaction I'll get from him. He really didn't like that, so I abandoned that completely and choose to go back to just laying the lead rope over his neck, right over his ears. And there you could see he thought there was more carrot in my hand and discovered that's not where he's getting the carrot. But I want him to also learn that if I gently tug on the lead rope, I just want him to turn and look at me. I'm trying to keep his attention on me and not the other horse that just came in. You can see he really doesn't care that I'm wiggling that lead rope. It's the first time with me touching his ears. He's really taking this all in stride. Of course, he's got the safety of me being on the other side of the manger. I've swapped out that heavy leather halter for this little rope halter. Now this is the first time I'm actually trying to put the halter over his nose, and he actually does really well with it. He really doesn't seem to mind too much. He's not a huge fan of it. You can see the look on his face like, what the heck is this? But he stood there, he let me do it, he didn't leave, he didn't pin his ears. I find it very important to touch the horse all over and get them used to being touched all over. This includes the insides of the ears. And I found that most horses, especially in the summer, end up with bug bites in their ears and just really love having the insides of their ears scratched. But I think it's important to touch the horse everywhere, including putting your fingers up their nose, everywhere. Everywhere you can think of on the horse's body, you should be able to touch it and not have the horse react at all. And again, I'm moving pretty slow with him because I don't want to startle him. I don't want to put him over his threshold. And I want him to stay here and work with me. And this hay is actually a huge reward. So he's pretty much being rewarded the entire time we're working with him. And again, he can choose to leave. This pasture that he's in is a couple of acres large. And so he could literally choose to go to the other end where all the mares are. And he's staying here with the hay. Nope, he didn't like that. It was just a little too much of an approach for him. I'm trying to encourage him to lift his head just a little. And he's not doing it for me. And that's okay. And this little horse has never offered to bite or kick anyone that I'm aware of. He's always been pretty friendly, just quite feral. And there, I've got the halter over his ears. And can we do it? There it goes. Oh, he's backing up. That's a little too much threshold, so I offer a carrot to bring him forward, which he readily accepts. He loves carrots. And the halter off again. So I'm doing this nice and slow so that he doesn't become afraid of the halter. And that's quite important to me, is that the horses aren't afraid of it. Especially with these horses having been rounded up and herded, some of them roped and lassoed. And they've had some trauma in the past. A lot of these horses, we don't know exactly their history or exactly where they came from. Many of them came from kill pens. Some of them are BLM Mustangs. They've got the freeze brands. And so far, we're unable to touch any of the BLM Mustangs. One of them seems to have been trained at one point in time, but I've not been able to get a halter on him yet. This little guy is a focus of mine because we want to get him gelded. I think once he's gelded, he will be a fabulous pony. I'm a little bit too big to ride him, so my intention is to train him for driving. And here I've got the halter on. I left it on for a couple moments. I didn't tie it in case he panicked and ran off. I wanted it to be able to come off of him. So I just looped it around itself. Well, he really didn't mind that. You can see me tugging on his face to get the halter away. He really doesn't seem to be too upset about that. He did get irritated and lifted his face, which I wanted him to lift his face, but not in an irritated manner. And of course, training comes with repetition. So we're going to keep doing this a few times. Oh, a little bit over the threshold. We'll bring him back with a carrot. Oh, I think I've got that horse treat. It's some sort of a senior horse treat. So far I haven't had a horse refuse that senior horse treat, so I'll have to get the bag out here after a while.